Welcome back to Understanding Special Education in the Durham District School Board. This segment will provide further details about the placement options provided within the DDSB. It is important to note that the ministry guidelines indicate 5 possible placements, and school boards determine through their special education planning which placements are provided and what they entail. The Durham District School Board acknowledges that many Indigenous nations have long-standing relationships, both historic and modern, with the territories upon which our school board and schools are located. Today, this area is home to many Indigenous peoples from across Turtle Island. We acknowledge that the Durham region forms a part of the traditional and treaty territory of the Mississaugas of Squaw Island First Nation, the Mississauga peoples, and the treaty territory of the Chippewas of Georgina Island First Nation. It is on these ancestral and treaty lands that we teach, learn, and live. The Durham District School Board is committed to learning environments that are safe, welcoming, respectful, equitable, accessible, inclusive, and free from discrimination while placing human rights and equity at the center. The ministry guidelines identify 5 distinct potential placements in the school setting. Each school board has the responsibility of outlining how each will be implemented in their district and what supports are involved in each one. Some school boards do not have special education classes as an example, so may use the other placement categories more regularly. In the Durham District School Board, as an inclusive board, we have the majority of students in regular class with indirect support and have a smaller number of students accessing special education classes, either part-time or full-time. Let's talk more about the placement of regular class with indirect support. As the most common and inclusive placement, this support comes in a variety of forms and is typically provided by the regular classroom teacher. In some cases, the support may be extended to include other school staff, like the special education resource teacher, educational assistant, or ASL interpreter as examples, based on the student's accommodation needs. Members of the school's Inclusive Student Services team, community partners, or other central staff may also support planning and programming. This support is considered indirect as the level and type of supports respond to the changing needs of students, but can include direct support to the student and teacher in providing programming and recommendations over the course of a school year. With a focus on this inclusive model of education, centering learning within a student's regular learning spaces is a priority where possible to do so. This enables the greatest opportunities for meaningful participation and opportunity for the student to remain with their peers while learning, which is why it is also one of the most common placements in the DDSB. What might the regular class with indirect support placement look like in the DDSB? Well, it includes guided groups within the classroom, which provide specific interventions and focused skill development that is based on ongoing assessment as, of, and for learning. This can include gap closing activities, addressing misconceptions, or building executive functioning skills like organization and task management. This placement can also include one-to-one support from the classroom teacher or other staff that addresses these same learning needs of skill building and fostering independence within the classroom. Often, a student who is struggling needs some unique or individualized tools or strategies to address their learning needs, like visual schedules or other visual tools, resources specific to addressing a challenge or need, or explicit teaching of strategies to help adjust or manage the classroom environment more successfully. The indirect support placement can include any or all members of the Inclusive Student Services team that have been activated. Their expertise and training often help narrow down the specific learning need and the strategy or tool to support it. This can include individual time spent with this support staff as well, but is identified in the indirect support placement because the support is adjusted and may change throughout the course of the year based on the student's needs. As part of all placements, the IEP is developed in partnership with families and all layers of support throughout the year. It will be revisited, adjusted, expanded, or fine-tuned as needed, all as part of the regular classroom with indirect support placement. Let's talk about regular class with resource or regular class with withdrawal assistance placements. The difference between these two placements is where the support is taking place. Resource assistance being within the classroom, either individual or small group. Withdrawal assistance refers to support outside the classroom in another space around the school, as either an individual or small group. This placement is used in the DDSB when we add a specific central special education teacher, such as a hearing or vision resource teacher, as part of an intensive school year-long support provided either within or outside a student's classroom on a regular basis. This placement is used to indicate the support is coming from beyond the school team. It is important to emphasize that small group or individual supports still occur with a student in the regular classroom with indirect support placement. Let's talk about special education with partial integration placements. In the Durham District School Board, we service over 70,000 students. Approximately 15,000 of them have IEPs in place to support their learning needs. The majority of these students access mainstream placements, but a small number of students access our special education classes as well. Each of our classes have very specific learning outcomes and comply with ministry directives around class size. We have developed a brochure for each of these class types, so if you'd like to learn more about any of them, please visit the Durham District School Board website under Inclusive Student Services. Special education classes that include partial integration are the school support class, which has a focus on language, math, and executive functioning skills, the structured learning class with a focus on ABA-based programming, the practical learning program that focuses on independent living skills plus functional literacy and numeracy, and the deaf or hard of hearing class. These classes provide the intensive programming support for students at least 50% of their school day, and also provide the opportunity to build other peer relationships, practice the skills developed through intensive programming, and engage with other curriculum content in a regular classroom with age-like peers for the remainder of each day. Full-time special education class refers to our most intensive support placement, where students remain in their special education class all day. The developmental program is our most typical full-time placement. Some of our classes can be part-time or full-time placements, depending on the needs of the student, always with a focus on fostering independence to achieve the greatest potential. Students may access a special education class initially full-time, and as their skills and strategies develop, move to partial integration, where they can apply these skills in a regular classroom. Our school support program, structured learning class, and practical learning program all provide the opportunity for the most appropriate level of support, with considerations made on an individualized basis about their readiness for partial integration. This decision is revisited each year as part of the annual review of placement, with focus always on the needs of each individual student.